enough of that silly stuff. As more of the Kled, please, is something I would also like.
Oh, it's just going to get locked in straight away. We'll see whether this one's going to go to BDD or whether Khan once again is going to pop off on the pick.
It's going mid!
It looks like BDD's picking it. Look, Kingzone just don't care about flex picks. They just care about flexing their muscles, and they're doing it right now with the Kled mid to debut.
How many games of Kled does it take for us to forget Rogue Warriors?
Well, I think it reminds us every time, Papa.
No, but the players,
how it works.
This is how you work out your frustrations. You play it on stage until it's a Kingzone pick, not a Rogue Warriors pick.
Well, they're going to try and make it one as Renekton to be locked in. Okay, So1, you want to kick the crap out of the Mundo in the top lane. It might be difficult as the game goes on, but I can imagine the first few levels are going to feel good, especially with Umpty able to influence the matchup.
This is definitely one of those dog matchups where you sit back and try and cleaver minions and get frustrated when the Renekton interrupts and catches the cleaver as that was trained for a big cannon minion. Very big control matchup for the Renekton. We'll see how much damage he goes into, because like you say, you have to go full damage, otherwise Mundo's a way better tank than you, and you need to have the 1v1 ability. So very likely to be it could be mid lane as well against the Kled. It should be worth mentioning.
That's true.
Speaking to Korean mid laners and saying, okay, what's the pick into Kled? Now that we're seeing Kled all over the place, the one I've heard the most is Fiora. So outside chance we'll see a Fiora come through from Jinair. But the Renekton, you imagine, could lane pretty decently there as well in a short lane like mid. So he won't necessarily put everything down as a mid lane Swain or another mid laner come in. Outside chance, it is that. So they got all the information, Jinair. How do you round this one out? Let's try and make sense of what's going on. And, well, Vel'Koz would do pretty well if he doesn't get charged down instantly. So the reset of a team fight from Vel'Koz would be pretty strong. It'd be risky, though. They think about it, they say, okay, the risk is too high, it's going to be in Morgana. Most likely Morgana's support, that means Gragas top lane and probably that Renekton mid lane, but we'll get the confirmation soon.
Yeah, that's what we're expecting. Teddy Nova lane is going to be very range heavy, very wave clear heavy. To try and go up against this Vladimir Alistair will be hard to unlock Gorilla this game in the early stages. Of course, Jinair will have the shove down there, but the rest of the lanes, it's been all answers from Jinair, all flexibility from Jinair, but is it going to be enough to go up against the power picks that Kingzone were very confident whilst locking in?
I mean, Atlas, it's strong lanes and also the Kindred, who can potentially get snowballing. So you have to say, all things considered, Jinair with a lot of flex, they had a mid lane Renekton that worked against both top and mid, so they had, you know, that embarrassment of riches for a last pick on the red side, which is tricky to do against Kingzone.
Well,
this turret dive is going to be very successful if Grace takes aggro.
Well, he's going to jump in there. Khan does have the ultimate running. He's going to flash back under the turret. Not sure what he was trying to do, but it didn't work.
Really, really rubbish flash there. It's against Ignite Renekton, who had his flash up. There was W that no longer goes down, and cooldown is pretty attractive.
Oh, Bear Trap and a Rope working out really well here in the mid lane, though, as Grace does have the Dominus popped. Oh. Flash is still there. Lamb's Respite works perfectly, but the headbutt, and Grace is just executed. Gorilla plays it beautifully and has the level 6, but is it going to be enough? It's only rank 1. Stopwatch is there to keep him alive, but the barrel almost gets there. Umpty needs the auto flashes, doesn't get it finally. He's able to pick that one up, but has he overextended as Nova makes his way in? See you later, Kindred, but they're all underneath the turret. BDD uses the untargetability beautifully as Prey does get exhausted under this turret, but he's got himself the Sanguine Pull, and he'll get his way out. It's a fear. Fire does get a flash, but it's a good dark binding. Gorilla has to use the ultimate as in goes Grace. No, does have the flash available, actually. Gorilla gives himself up. So1 is going to get in here. Didn't have to use the flash as the ultimate. Comes down from Peanut for the disengage. Man, that was so aggressive from the Sejuani, and he still wants more. Arctic Assault gets him out. Teddy should be able to take this Rift Scuttler, and now Rift Herald to add insult to injury to Kingzone in the mid lane. Up here, another argument for the AP Gragas, Papa, is trying to get more wave clear. Of course, AP Gragas was certainly wave clear options. Remember when it was in the mid lane. However, speaking of which, he's going to get ganked up towards the top side. So1 does have the barrel available, but it didn't really do anything. And they're just charging underneath this turret. Khan probably didn't want to be the one tanking, but BDD didn't even need to get off Skull. It's going to be traded for an Ocean Drake, but this should be a turret going over to King at his way out. And So1 does get the ultimate, but BDD is going to get over that wall, no worries. Khan is going to land. Oh, ultimate will be necessary here from Umpty, but just decides that he's not going to use it. Lamb's Respite just stays off cooldown. He knew that he wasn't going to survive anyway. Okay, someone's going to body slam his way in and out at the same time and has to flash to get himself over. I still think he hasn't done enough work. Body slam gets the reset, though. With all those extra points, he is able to survive. Khan standing underneath the turrets, but the rest of the team not so lucky. And Grace, he's going to split push. Long call about Umti, really pumping out consistent damage in this fight from a good position as Jin Air have started the fight once again, and Khan getting taken down dangerously low. Stopwatch is there, but not healing him for that much given the grievous wounds that is on top. Gorilla is going to jump in. It's a decent pulverize, and we've got crazy amounts of chaos in the middle of the fight. So Soul Shackles breaks up Kingzone, and Khan once again taking the brunt of the damage. Charge just to get out, and Jin Air may have gotten themselves a dragon in amongst it.
And the now or never time for Jin Air. They pull
jump down onto Teddy. Could be in trouble, but Zhonya's comes in. Demonic Ascension already there as well, and getting a lot of work done. Hemoplague comes down. Teddy gets his way over the wall, but Jin Air look to have successfully disengaged, and the Swain grabs the kill. So1 jumps forward. They want Khan yet again, and Umti has found him. Red buff is on. He's getting slowed down. Meanwhile, the fight is happening on the top side as well. Khan will fall down, and Peanut is just body blocking for the rest of the Kingzone members, but Jin Air, they found their fight.
And Teddy's so used to living a long time.
Yep, Peanut not going to be doing so as that barrel was beautiful. Grace is going to pick up the kill, but that was all about So1, who's looking to try and get himself back from the call on the bad KDA. Baron looks like an opportunity now as Teddy throws down Demonic Ascension just to get rid of the other members of Kingzone.
It's a nice tool for Kingzone to pick up for this Baron contest. They have no smite, have no ability to move over to smite. They need to fight. Where's the charge?
Well, there's going to be a lot of health missing on this Baron buff. We'll see whether the turn does come in as Umti gets himself into the middle of the fight. Oh no, Prey has to use Sanguine Pool very early in this battle as the Lamb's Respite is in there, and Umti's surviving for so long. Vladimir just taken down. No pull, no worries for Jin Air as BDD gets eradicated from the fight. Gorilla comes in with a headbutt pulve to get rid of the Morgana, but this is a desperation play at best from Kingzone, and Jin Air will get the Baron. Or will they?
They will not. He's able to buy enough time there. They got 2 inhibitors down, so they had a lot of delay. There would have been minions pushing him. There's no damage left to kill at Atlas, so the eulogy for the Baron, good of steel.
Yeah, well, he's going to be able to get in there, but it's not smite range at the moment. That's another free mark going over to the Kindred, not to mention another jungler missing and another big buff for Jin Air.
Such a low percentage move from Peanut. Terrible move from him because he gives up his smite as well. The Baron's still on the Rift, and now it's free.
Yep. Jin Air will just move their way over to it. They'll burn it down with the extra on-hit damage as well. And with 2 inhibitors down, nothing that Kingzone can do. I don't even know whether their composition is going to be able to batten down the hatches and clear out these waves, because you've mentioned already that their wave clear is abysmal.
Some of the communication also. We saw the Alistar walking up. You have to wait for your Alistar to put down a control ward, then judge the situation. You can't go in with incomplete information.
Yeah, it's disgusting. Not to mention the fact that Grace has built full damage. Sterix there, his only defensive option. He's got a GA, he's feeling real good. Doesn't even have to hit these Nexus turrets because they've got triple siege minion beating down on them, and Gorilla, not a whole lot he can do. They're going to start the fight once again, but Kingzone are already melting. Good God, is that a tanky Mundo? I don't think so, as Jin Air just eat through the Kingzone lineup. The Nexus will get taken out as well, and once again, Jin Air are victorious in Game 1.
Jin Air do exactly what they need to do, and Kingzone make mistakes, so in the end, Jin Air pretty comfortably the victors here over Kingzone Dragon X in game number 1. Like we've mentioned a couple of times, they did this in the first round robins, their second game win over Kingzone Dragon X, but a match victory, a second Glad plane on the week would be the sort of uptick that they need.